Good morning, respected judges, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kaisar Jabal Artasha and I am from Nepskolchende Junior High School. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to talk about the fate of our lakes. As the environmentalist Stuart Udall once said, plants protect air, water, wilderness, and wildlife are in fact plants to protect man. This quote is forgotten to us, despite being home to some of the world's most beautiful lakes. Indonesia possesses over 1,500 lakes that boast vast ecosystems that serve as shelter for many native and endemic flora and fauna, including rare fish, mollusks, and aquatic plants. But alas, paradise only exists on the surface. In spite of their beauty, many of these lakes are actually struggling to maintain their ecosystems. But now I ask you why. Does anyone in the crowd here know? The answer has to be direct. We humans are to blame. We have caused a destructive amount of pollution, ranging from releasing invasive species to throwing rubbish. That is why we as students have to stand up and save our lakes from falling apart. But I know you're going to ask, how, why, and what's going on? Why does this happen, you may ask? Well, because of the remote areas these lakes are in. One of the reasons is actually the lack of education the residents nearby get. Compass had revealed that an individual released several plecos into Lake Toba, thinking it would help with another invasive species, which is the red devilfish. Unfortunately, it wasn't effective and brought yet another invasive species. Moreover, pollution has done a big harm to the water quality of our lakes, leading to a catastrophe where tons of fish died overnight. Of course, we have to fix this nightmare. But how? Well, as students, if you want to go big, we could take inspiration from an outstanding high schooler by the name of Stefan Frederick Atmaja. He was able to invent a new solution that turns the highly invasive water hyacinth into a biofertilizer. With this, I believe that youth could lead in charge in changing our lakes for the better. Other than that, lakes like Lake Toba consist of more invasive species than native species. Even though most of these species are predators, the growing numbers of these species makes native predators, such as the dwarf snakehead, to fall behind. But the continued existence of these predators means there's a fighting chance. As students, we could help persuade the government to conserve these natural predators. By this, we could create a campaign to start targeted fishery on invasive species. Moreover, we could also band together and form cleaning groups and clean our lakes. And these small actions can lead to more government initiatives. Indeed, I am aware that this might not seem much, but it will create a snowball effect among us. Thus, I invite youth from all over Indonesia to be more attentive of lake threats and be more caring of the ecosystem around them. Remember, it takes thousands of pebbles to move a giant boulder, and a small change of behavior could save the fate of our lakes. Ladies and gentlemen, in the beginning I asked how we as students could save our lakes. Well, the answer is actually simple. We must stop waiting for someone else to step up and take matters into our own hands. A person named Robert Swan once said, "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it." Thus, let us band together and contribute by whatever means necessary. If an 11th grader can turn something invasive into something useful, then there is no reason for us to not care about our lakes. Thus, let us stand up and save our lakes before it's too late. Again, thank you for your time and attention. And once more, I must remind you that it takes thousands of pebbles to move a giant boulder, and the same could be said about our lakes. Thank you.